All right, folks, welcome back to the homestead. So this is part 2 of what could be a new method for doing sweet potato slips and growing them out. Could be. I say could be because if you watch the first one of these videos, you would know that the first attempt at this was kind of a bust. So here's the gist of what I'm doing. Another YouTuber has a video out there that I watched, and he had some suggestions about how you could get a lot more slips than what I have been able to do in the past. And so I thought I'd try his method. Now, I didn't do it exactly as he suggested, and so the first attempt was a bust. I tried putting it in water. He did not suggest putting it in water. I normally do mine in water. They work fine. I didn't want to do it with in soil like he suggested because it's just so hot and I can't get out there multiple times. I didn't think it was going to have as good of a chance. But that's what we're going to do this time. We're going to try it in soil, try it the way he suggested, see if it works. I'm just going to have to go through the struggle of getting out there and making sure that they get watered and hopefully stay alive. Because the water method in a cup of water like I normally do with my slips did not work at all. So let me show you what he said. And I'm not going to mention who the YouTuber is unless I find that the method that he suggests of putting it in the soil actually works. Then I'll tell you. But otherwise, it's not my intention to make him look bad or anything like that. That's not why I'm doing this. I'm looking for a new way to get more slips. But the suggestion was that every one of these nodes can be its own slip. Let me come in a little closer here, bring it in for a little uppy-closey time. All right, so the suggestion that he had was that every spot where a stem comes out, this is a node where you can have as its own slip. Now what I've done in the past is at every one of these spots, for a few inches up, I'll tear these off and assume that from that node is where a root is going to come from. And so from this one slip will have several nodes that can grow out roots underground. His suggestion is that we can actually cut these and each one can be its own slip. Okay. Then would go and put these in the soil. And so we're going to try that method this time. Last time I tried doing that and putting them in water and they just turned into a big, slimy, stinky, rotten mess. So here's what we do. Okay, we take our little handy dandy knife and we cut away the nodes, this node from the others, and he says that should be one slip. So we continue on, and where from this one slip where previously in the past I would have gotten just the one slip, he's saying, nah, you can have a lot of slips from just that one. Now, maybe somebody out there is familiar with this method and can tell me, hey, you're doing it the wrong way, you're skipping this step or something. And if so, please let me know because I would love to get a lot more slips than I'm getting. But basically what he suggested was that now I can get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, probably not that one, that's just too little, 11, 12 out of that one slip that I would have. Again, maybe I'm missing something, but that's from his videos that I saw, that's what I took from it. So, we will try putting these in some soil, and we will see how that works. Now we also, the last video, I did another test, okay, experimenting here. So all we're doing is experimenting, where the other video, the other test was to take basically my old method, which was these nodes here, but taking them and taking a stick like this with several nodes on it and just burying this in some soil. No leaf. All right, coming off of this, no leaf, just bury this thing in some soil. I tried some horizontally, I tried some vertically, and so we're gonna catch up on those and see how those are doing and see if those were a success. So experimentation time today. All right, let's grab some soil. All right, so we have a pot here with some soil. loosen this up a bit. And let's stick a few of these in here. And what I want to do then is come back in, say, 2 weeks. Well, maybe a week. We'll come back in a week. We'll check on it. Then we'll come back in 2 weeks, and we'll see. After 2 weeks, we'll take them out of the soil here, and we'll see if they are rooting down underneath. All right, so we got a dozen of them here in a couple of pots. I figured this was going to be easier than throwing them out in the garden and trying to have to get out there all the time. Just want to put them in some pots. What I want to know is, are they going to root? I have plenty of slips to put out in my sweet potato patch, so I don't really need these right now. This is more of experimentation. Here it's going to be easier for me to see if it's rooting. So we'll come back in a week or two and we'll take a look. Well, if we look in close at these ones, look, I see a leaf. I see a leaf. I think I see a leaf forming there. I see, looks like maybe some stems that are going to have a leaf on them there. Definitely a leaf there, leaf there. And over here, what's that? That may be something sprouting up out of the ground from the ones that we buried. So this method maybe works. All right, so let's do another quick update here. So this is 1 week in, and you can see all of these ones have got leaves growing out of them. Almost all of them. There's a couple of them, I guess, that don't yet, but for the most part, all of them do. And then over here, with the ones we laid in horizontally, we've got several of them that have begun pushing up some slips out of the ground. So this seems to be working very well. The ones that we put into the pots, well, looks like we've had one of those die there, but these ones look pretty healthy. On this one here, okay, one leaf not looking so good, one dead, but a couple of them that are healthy in there. So can't tell too soon to say how these are going, but those over there, those look good. Okay, so here we are at 2 weeks in. Check this out. So these are all the ones that were put in vertically, and they seem to be doing really well. The ones that were put in horizontally, well, they seem to be growing, not as well as the ones that were put in vertically, though. So I'm curious to see what we have for root development down there. So I'm going to go ahead and pull one of these up, and let's take a look and see. Again, this is all for experimentation, right? Whoop, I can feel it's giving some resistance. So there is definitely some rooting. Okay. Look at that. So that is not bad. Right? Can you see that? Okay, sorry. That's not bad at all. For 2 weeks of time, to be able to get this many more sprouts, that works. That actually works. It's very cool. Let me stick it back down in there. And I could feel that some of the roots were tearing as I was pulling it up out of there. So there was even more initially. So that's impressive. Okay, so I'm comfortable with saying that this works, and that this is definitely a way to get more slips than the original way, although this was not what was in the video. So let's check on the ones that were the way he said to do it in the video and see how those are doing. All right, so here are the ones that we did in the actual way that was the suggestion of the person in the video. Okay, they look good on the surface, so I feel like we're probably in pretty good shape. Let me go ahead and pull them up and just see what do we have down in here. Now these have only been in here, I think, for about a week, so not as long as the other ones. So I don't expect as much root development. I just want to see if there's any. I mean, if you remember the other way, we tried it in the water, in a glass of water, they just mostly all just rotted and turned into a stinking mess. These look good, look healthy, so I'm assuming this is a better way. Let's take a look. Oh, there's definitely roots down here. Definitely. I'm getting a lot of resistance trying to pull this out. I'm going to tear some roots. So, oh yeah, I don't know if you can you see the roots that are coming up there? That's just with one of them. And I mean, I'm tugging on this and it doesn't want to come out. I'm not tugging real hard, but that's, yeah, I mean, those are definitely down in there. Let me just try this real fast. Look at that. Holy moly. Ha, I did not expect that. Wow. That's 1 week, guys. I think 1 week. Holy moly. Wow. Okay. Well, I think clearly we can say that method works too. So we have some new methods how to increase our quantity of available, well, look at that camera, available sweet potato slips. So we're going to review. It's getting a little bit late in the evening right now, so tomorrow I will do a quick, I mean, like literally like 1 minute recap of what we did, and we will wrap it up, and I will tell you who this video I saw. I'm going to give them credit for what they did. I'm excited. All right, so it is morning time now, and we're out here by the sweet potato patch. Look at, there's a nice little pretty flower right there on one of these. Let me see if I can find some examples of how we did this, just to recap. So on a slip like this, where it's really turning into a big vine, so here's where we were cutting those off like this, right? We're cutting one here, cutting one here, cutting one here, and getting individual slips that way. Let me see if I can find an example of the other way. Okay, so here's a good example of the other way. This one is not that same kind of turned into a long vine already. It will start doing that out here. But down here closer to the base, we can see we have several nodes. Now, my old method would be just to try and root all these out, but to actually just cut them and stick them in the ground, that's what we did with the new method. That was my idea. The other method was from, I will tell you who it is, it's the Millennial Gardener. The Millennial Gardener had a video called something like turn one sweet potato into 100 pounds of sweet potatoes by growing sweet potato slips. And so I want to say thank you to him for that amazing idea, and I'm happy to give him credit and pass that along as well. So I'll put a link for that down below so you all can check out that video too. But right now we have 2 new ways to get a whole bunch more sweet potato slips. Thank you for watching. I know it went a little bit lengthy. If you have any questions, any comments, please feel free to drop them down below. Have a great day. Bye-bye.